again, or hello for the first time, whoever you might be. I am Cher. I am a musician who has 2 small businesses to support me. One that I buy and sell used and rare books, which I've been doing for a long time. And the other, which is newer, is that I make bags and some jewelry and other crafty things. I feel as though I have a split personality because here, sometimes I talk about books, sometimes I talk about music, and sometimes about sewing and crafty business stuff. Because they don't really seem to mesh. I can't imagine that there are other people out there who are interested in those certain 3 things. I think my videos get pretty disjointed because there's never any follow-up. I tell you how I'm going to start whatever, and then the next video is a whole nother topic. By the time we get back to the first whatever, that bird has flown. This week, today, I have bits from all the parts of my life, the businessy parts of my life, not the personal parts of my life. We don't need to go there. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to work to combine them all, but that's what this will be. Little updates on various stuff. My crazy split personality life. It's been pointed out to me that since I started on YouTube, my focus is now split 4 ways. But I'm not going to talk about that. No way. I'm not going to tell you how great my YouTube channel is when I don't really do a very good job at it. But here I am. Part of this week has been very frustrating. A guy in the UK wanted to buy a set of books about railroads in California and Colorado. I never know what international postage is going to be. Sometimes it's quite a shock. And these were quite heavy. So I never accept an order without getting a price quote first. I found a box that fit them, and I put in the appropriate wrapping materials along with the books and took it to the post office, and holy cow, the price quoted to mail those books was $136 and some cents. And ABE takes a percentage of the book price and the postage. So I have to quote the customer something even higher than that. The package was too heavy to go first class, so it had to go priority. So I thought I would see if the books mailed separately. The set is only 3 books, if that would be any cheaper, but heck no. Single books, these single books, still had to go priority, and the quote for that was $94 each. The guy was very understanding about it when I explained, and he canceled the order and all. I said I would try to find a cheaper way, but I have no idea how. I am in a smallish town. We have a hardware store where you can go to do UPS, but they don't do international. I have tried. And the closest thing we have to FedEx is that you're allowed to drop off packages at the really seedy Dollar General store down the street. To get a price quote for that, you have to set up a FedEx account online. And after that, you will get constant emails and phone calls advertising their services. I know this because I did it once, trying to get a quote for a book to go to Canada when Canada Post was on strike. And that price was higher than the post office price anyways. It is always really frustrating not to be able to sell a book or a book set that someone wants to buy. But what could I do? Okay, last time I was talking about getting rained out at the market downtown and how I absolutely need to get new tablecloths that would not drag on the ground, etc., etc. Well, lo and behold, that same day, Aldi advertised vinyl tablecloths for only $2.99 each. There were bright, gaudy patterns, but also some nice, demure ones. So off I went to Aldi, but they had nothing but the bright, gaudy ones in stock in the $2.99 section. They did have some $7.99 ones in a pale blue gingham, which isn't exactly my vibe, but it will do. And I will certainly blend in with everyone else at the market. Yeah, they'll do till I find my perfect match, which I may never. And $7.99 is still a decent price, so I got them, which is pretty much the fastest I've ever dealt with an issue. And here on my show and tell table is an example of Aldi's vinyl. It's not vinyl like I know vinyl. I mean, because I'm old. I expect vinyl to be much heavier, but it says vinyl. There's my new tablecloths. While I was out and about, I had watched a video from another craft person from Allie, or is it by Allie? I think it's by Allie. I've been watching her videos for a while. She does markets and she makes similar stuff to me. Like lots of makeup bags and tote bags. Yeah, well, she's more pretty and pink, where I'm more upholstered fabric. But anyways, yeah. She showed a tote bag that she made that was selling really well for her. It looked like it was patchwork, and I am not that patient. I am not going to piece together fabric to make a bag out of. What would I have to charge for it? But it turns out it's a fabric that looks like patchwork that you can buy at Hobby Lobby, but it's just a printed fabric. Hobby Lobby is not my favorite store, but it's our only fabric destination anymore. And our Hobby Lobby is right across the street from Aldi. So after I bought tablecloths, I stopped to check out that fabric. I do not need to buy any fabric at all. But I was just curious, and I hadn't been to Hobby Lobby in months. My Hobby Lobby had the patchwork print fabric in a couple color combinations, but they didn't have the pastel pinks and blues that Allie has. They had like a, brown and green, like fall colors. And fabric wasn't on sale that week. Every other week, fabric at Hobby Lobby is 40% off. So obviously you do not buy on the off weeks. Unless you really, really need to. But I always drift over to the clearance fabric. There's a little shelf. And by golly, by gosh, they had this gorgeous, or I thought it was gorgeous, African wax print for only $3 a yard. And it's metallic. It's got like gold running through it. I love sewing with African wax print. It's such a lovely fabric. But I didn't buy it. I told myself I have too much fabric and I shouldn't be adding to the pile. Excuse me, page turning. But I couldn't stop thinking about it. Like, really? You're going to walk away from $3 a yard African wax print? Uh-huh. I went back the next day and I bought 6 yards of it. And here it is on my show and tell table. Very shiny, isn't it? That's the gold. Anyways, there's that. It's all mine. Um, okay, band-wise. A while back, Dave found an old recording of House of the Rising Sun and he sent it to me. It's me singing, of course. I was kind of blown away. I don't know when we did it. I don't remember doing it, but it's different than I ever remember singing it. And I could not do a better job if I tried now. I mean, well, sometimes you just surprise yourself. So, we went ahead with adding guitar and getting the song ready to release. When you release a cover, you have to pay for the rights, but the place you get the rights from, which, if I knew the name, I'd say it, but I don't. Anyways, they said the song is not copyrighted because it's an old, folk song, and so you didn't need to, pay for the rights and all that. But the place that releases our stuff said, hey, this is a cover and you don't have permission. I am sure it's AI that's going through these things and making all these big decisions. Yeah, well, I mean, it wouldn't be human beings, would it? So, yeah, a bit of back and forth. I don't know if it's worked out yet because Dave's in charge of that. But whenever, it will be our next song. And I'll let you know. We, the band, played the farmer's market yesterday, and yesterday was a gorgeous sunny day with a little bit of wind, not too horribly hot. Everything you would want. And I stood there. We used the courthouse steps as our stage. I stood there looking at the empty spot where my booth had been last week when we got rained out, thinking I could have been there today selling stuff. Huh. Because this spring, I was the one who said, we don't have to do markets this year. Anyways, people actually come downtown to hear us play, which seems kind of weird that people get up in the morning to come down and watch us play. And not that many, but some. I didn't really think our music would fit in. We're an original band that does some covers, but it's 75% us and our stuff and 25% covers. We had someone actually inquire about hiring us. That was something I didn't expect. I don't know if anything will come from it. You don't ever know. But we have their contact information so we can follow it up. It's actually hard to sing in the morning. I'm not used to singing in the morning. Usually our stuff takes place late at night. I suppose I could be doing vocal exercises and all that, but between the loading up at 7 a.m. and unloading and setting up at the venue, there's not really much time. This is just not how I ever pictured my life as a rock star. But, hey, I've said before, we'd rather play than not play. And this has turned out to be way more of a positive experience than I ever thought it would be. I've been so busy with other stuff. I had gotten those books at auction and they needed to be priced and added onto the database. Plus, we had some horribly hot days when nothing much got accomplished. And not much sewing or creative stuff has happened. And I told myself I had to do something. This was before I got the African wax print fabric, by the way. So I fell back on the very easiest something that exists, at least that I know of, which is sewing scrunchies. I've seen videos where people cut out their strips so they're all ready to sew. So I basically have a shoebox full of various scrunchie strips. Other people have massive amounts, all organized. Like this is this fabric, this is this fabric. I have a box of miscellaneous, a shoebox. Yeah, anyways, I do the burrito method, which I'm not going to explain. It's my dog barking. I leave the turning gap in the strip that you sew first. I'm not very good at explaining. Okay, wait. Scrunchie strip. The first step is to sew them together here. And instead of just sewing it across, I leave a little gap right here. And that's how I turn it. I'm finding my spot. I also have the personality where I leave as tiny of a turning gap that I can get away with. So I'm pulling the scrunchie through this tiny little hole when I turn it, which can sometimes require the seam ripper to enlarge the tiny hole because it's too tiny. Yeah. The only part of the scrunchie I haven't been satisfied with was that final seam where you sew that little gap shut, because it sticks out weird. And after only like a million scrunchies, well, okay, maybe not a million, it finally dawned on me that since I have such a tiny little hole, why not just use a bit of fabric glue and I won't have that unseemly seam line. Probably the people who wear these scrunchies don't notice stuff like that. Lots of people who make them put tags on their scrunchies and would put a tag there. I don't have tags with my name on, like advertising my business and all that. Plus, I don't think it looks good. There's nowhere to discreetly put a tag on a scrunchie, is there? But that's only me. My opinion. Anyhow, I haven't accomplished much sewing-wise, but I made some scrunchies. Purple scrunchies. I think next time I have them out at a show, I will have to actually look and keep track of which ones we're short of. People buy them and I don't remember what they bought. It's not that I really have to keep colors stocked. I don't have them online, so it doesn't matter. And lots of them that I've made, I've only had a bit of fabric, so there are only a few to begin with, and never will be more. I just don't want to show up with my purple satin scrunchies and discover that I already had a million of them. Next, of course, is going to be something with my new fabric. Yeah, probably tote bags, because the print is so big. I don't make anything bigger than tote bags. I think I make a good tote bag. I have enough fabric here. I didn't pay much, so I could make a pocket out of that to put on it. Anyways. Yes. And now I'm going to do a rendition of The House of the Rising Sun, but it will not sound anything like the recording. I mean, the recording is bluesy and has lots and lots of guitar. And I did some phenomenal thing on singing that I don't know how to do anymore. Yeah. But I will do the best I can. That's my F chord. I don't play F chords very well. My fingers don't stretch over them. Okay. Enough talking, share. There is a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun. It's been the ruin of many a poor girl, and God, I know I'm one. My mother was a tailor, oh yeah. She made gambling man down in New Orleans. The only thing that a gambler needs is a suitcase and a drum. And the only time that he's satisfied is when he's on. When he's on a drug. Sorry about that. Now, mother, tell your children, oh yeah, don't you do like I have done, to spend your life in sin and misery in the house of the rising sun. One foot is on that platform, oh yeah, the other is on the train. I'm going back to New Orleans to wear that ball and chain. There is a house in New Orleans they call the rising sun. It's been the ruin of many a poor girl. God, I know I'm one.